First of all, today I feel very happy to be here, and I would like to thank the organizers and all the people here coming here, even though it is such a hot and such a sweat coming. Still you guys are very patiently waiting to thank you very much. The second reason I feel very happy and is because of this school. Because I learned that this is a Chinese Buddhist school where the Chinese tradition, culture, which is very much associated with because the majority of China, Buddhism is very strong, very well practiced for thousands of years. Now some almost as old as India, Buddhism has been in China. So this kind of school which keeps the Chinese culture, tradition and the Buddha Dharma alive is so precious. Sometimes I see in some other country, I think it was also maybe a Chinese population, not a Chinese country like Hong Kong, but it has a Chinese population. So in these kind of places, people have lost, I think, much of the culture, especially the spiritual culture. So when people, for example, when people die, I heard that the people who come to do the ceremony, they have to be people who wear the mask and do the drum. They are hired, you know? So they really don't know what they are doing, what purpose. And after they finish the 1 hour prayer for the 1 hour ceremony for the dead, they have to do some other job. They have another contract. People don't realize it, but any culture, especially the culture which has a Buddhism mixed together, is a very much culture is about life. You know, when we have children are born, what do you do? When we have a marriage, what do you do? What do you pray? When somebody when you live in this world, how do you live? How do you have a relationship with your parent? Between family and how do you relationship? When somebody family dies, how do you pray? What is the meaning? What is the reason? What do the dead people feel? There are so many, the spiritual reasons, as well as it's entirely how you live your life in together with the Dharma mixed together. So when you lose it, actually you're losing entire way of living. Nowadays people give more importance to the modern education and don't care so much about their cultures and traditions. But in a way, if we forget, there's nothing wrong with that modern education. We have to learn it to survive in this world. But if you forget your culture, then our children, our future generation will not actually learn how to live life. How do you handle when somebody in your family dies? How do you pray? When people are born, what do you do? All of this will be living life will be forgotten. Will be not known. For example, I am a Buddhist practitioner. So how I think, how I live my life, how I face situation in my life, handle is as a Buddhist I handle it. But as a tool, I learn about modern education. For example, I learn English, I learn computer, I learn the website. Yes, why not? But as a Buddhist, is my spiritual, is my main who I am, who I live. And as a tool that modern education is learned, then that's okay. It's my opinion, of course. You guys might be thinking, what does this master have to do with the Chinese culture? What is his business? Because I'm saying this because it is related to the today's teaching topic. Today's teaching topic is how to face death. When we are dying or when people are dying, how do we help for them? How do we help them? So imagine that when we die, either our children or future, they don't know what to do. So they don't have no prayer for us, nothing for us, because the culture, tradition has died. Or they will hire somebody who will come for half an hour, do some dance, some music, and finished, you know. And we are the spirit who have died, you know. How can we receive help from somebody who is part-time, you know, come from, I don't know, he's actually maybe a chef in a restaurant. Somebody died, has come now, okay, he bath and do some puja, half an hour finished, he go back, chef, cooking. You know. How, as a dead person, when we are dead, going through so much difficulty, how can a person like that truly help us? So anyway, that is why today's teaching topic is so that we know, you know, even if there is nobody around, we know how to pray for death. We know when we are going to die. I mean, we are all going to die sooner or later, that's for sure. So when that death comes, how do we handle it? With what attitude? And what kind of prayers and practice we can do? This is what we are going to share today. And it is the Amitabha Buddha's practice we are going to share. So, let us talk about, you know, from the Dharma point of view, the experience of the dying. What kind of suffering or pain will we go through? Of course, this life at least I have not died yet, so I cannot say I died like that. But from the Dharma point of view, and from what is taught in the Dharma and what we can understand as using our mind, I feel that from what I understand from the Dharma and reflection, there is two big fear. One is fear of losing things. For example, let's say today all of you have a job. You know, for today somebody comes, take away your job, take away your family, take away your clothes, watch everything, and throw you naked on the street. What will you feel? How many years I work for this company, this job, my family, my watch, I worked so hard to get this. You know? Suddenly I'm taken away by force, without any choice. How painful and how scary that will be. Even if we lose our iPhone, so much pain. And you know, we get divorced, lose job, so much pain, unbearable. iPhone we can buy again, job we might get again, you know, wife or husband we may marry again, you know. But still, so much pain at that point. So imagine at that time, your family, our relationship, wealth, even our body which we were born with, is being separated from us. How much pain, fear we will experience sooner or later, you know. And people should not feel that when they think of death, they should feel, you know, kind of scared. Actually, by thinking of how we will feel when we lose things, it will make us appreciate life more. What we have more, not less. Not like right now, what we have we don't appreciate, we don't feel happiness, and then we lose, then we regret. Not like that. Actually, by thinking of the death, we will appreciate life more, enjoy life more. Life will have more meaning. And especially from the Dharma point of view, there is a teaching called, nowadays they call it Tibetan book of living and dying. It is actually not right, because it didn't come from Tibet, it came from India. It's not belong to any country. Dharma doesn't belong to any country. Dharma is the truth. Truth belongs to everything, you know. The truth is something that it is just truth, you know, whether people believe in or not, or whatever, doesn't matter. For example, if I say there's no Changsha Island, doesn't mean there's no Changsha Island. There is Changsha Island, you guys are living here. But because I don't know there's no Changsha Island, doesn't mean that, you know, it has changed. So similarly, Dharma is the truth, and truth is applicable to everybody. So from that book of living and dying, the Bhargava intermediate teachings, when people die, for the first one whole day, the shock of mind being separated from body makes the being unconscious. And afterwards when you get up, when you kind of wake up, there's no physical waking up, but the mind, when it kind of regains it, we have kind of a light body. And at that time, it takes almost 4 days until we realize that we are dead. Because we don't realize it, because we can. And this is considered the most crucial time for prayers and dedication, is the 4th day after we die. Because in these 4 days, they talk to their family. Family doesn't talk to them. They want to, and they feel they want to go to their home. They want to, use things, eat things, they talk to things like a normal. They can't, and so they have a lot of fear, and especially during those times, people cannot see them, but they can see the people. They even have the ability to read minds to a certain extent, read minds. So if they see their hard-earned property is either not being, taken away by people, stolen by people, or, misused, and then what is people's true intention? Their hard-earned work being stolen, misused, so much pain. Even if it's not being misused, still there's pain. Right now, for example, we say, this is my private bedroom, don't come in. Knock before you come in. My mobile phone, my something, don't touch. So much, So that time, what can you do? Nothing. You can see your every possession, whatever it is, wealth, whatever, being used, enjoyed by taken by others. Nothing you can do about it. And you don't even know why people cannot hear you. So this 4 days is said to be the most painful period of time. And at that time, whenever we feel anger, jealousy, negative emotions, then we see strong winds, black winds, thunder, storm, loud noise, and very scary things we see, like a scary ghost, scary thing we see, is actually our own anger being projected. Right now, we have a body. So whatever we think, sometimes from our imagination, we can imagine so many things. We can imagine happy things, we can imagine angry things, so many things. Yet we have something called reality imagination. What's happening to my body is real, what I can see is real, what I imagine is not real. But at that time, we have no body. So whatever your mind feels, when your anger feels, that anger is manifested into the whatever, the anger is a black force, wind, storm, because there is no body. So how can you tell what is real, what's not real? It is your own mind that's projecting so and so, anger, jealousy, and that experience as a strong wind, harsh sounds, scary people. Your own mind is projecting these things. A lot of fear, loneliness, and sadness is tremendous suffering is experienced during those times. Then during that time, many Buddhas come. That book of the intermediate stage says that within 49 days, most of the people will already be reborn, take life. Of course, some exceptional cases get stuck in the intermediate stage for a very long time, and some are born in the hungry ghost, but generally speaking, people will take birth within 49 days. So during these 49 days, many different Buddhas, 5 Buddha direction comes to teach us and bless us. But most people, they run away from the Buddha. Because you can imagine, right now when we are praying to the Buddha, we are either imagining Buddha like a statue. That's why, for example, Kuan Yin is like either like this or like that, So we cannot imagine Kuan Yin moving around, because for us like a statue. So tomorrow if Kuan Yin really comes, most probably we will be so scared. Who are you? I'm Kuan Yin. Then you say, why is your hand not like this? Why are you moving? Because our devotion is a little bit with a doubt. And when we visualize also, it's like a statue. Not really alive, because we don't really have the belief that Buddha Amitabha is really here. Kuan Yin is really here. Every time we pray, they come. We don't have. So our belief is very much lacking. Our visualization very much like a strong visualization. Amitabha is always like this. His hand must be paining also all the time. can't Buddha Amitabha move around? It's a bit, you know. Buddha Amitabha is alive, real. Buddha Amitabha is in the pure Amitabha Pure Land now. Why not? So our Buddha can't also be scared right away. So that's why in this life, getting familiar with the Buddha, visualizing not like a statue, but like real alive Buddha, smiling, speaking, moving, looking at the loving kindness is a very important part of visualization. So, as I told you, there is a two biggest fear. One is of losing things, and second is where we are going. Fear of unknown is the truth. So, to reduce the fear, the pain of attachment that we will feel when we are dying, and as well as after death, what we can do now is to understand that nothing is really, there is true understanding we need to develop. One is that the objects that we have is is something that we cannot really hold on to, because they are, every second they are changing, they are impermanent by nature. For example, let's look at our body. If I ask you guys, 5 minutes ago your body and now is the same, you say yes, it is same. Look me, nothing is same. I am the same body. But actually, that is not correct. Every second, our bodies changes are going through our body, which are beyond our control. When we become old, it's not like after 50 years suddenly you become old. Now I'm old. Till now I was young. Not like that. Every second we are getting old. Every second, every month there are changes at a cellular level. Same with this building. After 300 years, this building will fall down. But it's not that after 3 years, suddenly it fall down. Every second, the condition for it to fall down, the deterioration is happening. Every second is changing. So whether we try to hold on to our body or hold on to our building or properties or not, you are holding on to something only from your mind. Nothing really can be held on to. You can enjoy it while we are in this world. We can enjoy our body, appreciate our house, material wealth for ourselves, as well as to make a difference to others. Why not? But holding on to it as if it will be forever with you is an illusion. And actually, more we hold on to, more fussier we become, more irritated we become from anything. For example, like our body. If we hold on to have so much attachment to our body, everything irritates us. Too hot, too cold. I broke my nail. Very bad, my bad day. I have some friends, like a long time back, my friends. There were pimples on their face. Today my pimple come. I cannot go to work today. I cannot go out until my pimple is recovered. I look so ugly. So much worry. I tell them, first of all, when you meet people we meet far away, nobody will come near, enough to see your pimple. I've met many people, they will come and go near my forehead, put their eyes near my forehead to check the pimple. Most people, they will not check, they don't even notice, who has pimple, who doesn't have. That's unreasonable concern. For that you waste your whole day. So like that, more you are attached to anything it is, more fussier you will become. Everything will irritate you. Too hot, too cold, good enough, clothes not good enough, broke my. So many things irritate you. So you must enjoy much less anything. And another example that I can share with you to help you understand this. When I see some in the Europe and all of that, they have Europe and in some, because I live in Bhutan. So in this Europe and Bhutan, they have, it's not like Hong Kong, many new cities, the new buildings. So they have a lot of old castles and all of that. So they have like, this castle is 400 years old. This house is, very historical. So of course, because because my perspective is different. For me, when I look at 400 years old, I feel that how funny it must be. For example, 100, maybe 400 years ago, the owner of the castle is somebody, Sir so and so. He owned this castle, and everybody says, you are the boss of this castle. And then after maybe 50 years he died, then somebody else comes, he said, this is my castle, I am the owner. And everybody says, yes, you are the owner. And then after some time he died, and then another person comes and this is my castle, my house. And everybody at that time say yes. So in a way, really, there's nothing has been really owned except by mind saying this is my castle, and people agree to it. So you feel like you own it forever. That is very not so. So that is why, as a practice, what we can do right now, I'm not saying that we have to give up everything and we have to, basically it is the mind that has to give up, that has to become loose. Property you have or not doesn't really matter. You can be attached to your one shirt, your one begging bowl, or you can be attached to a golden bag. It is the same. Attachment is same, pain is same, fear is same. Attachment is the one we need to reduce, so the pain is not there. So what can we do now, at this time in our life? What can we do now? What we can do now is Vajrayana, we call it mandala offering. But actually what it really means is we have to do offering to the Buddhas. Again, don't worry. You don't actually, if you cannot offer anything, it doesn't matter. What it really matters, Buddha doesn't want, anything from us. But we need to train our mind so we can visualize offerings. And offering can be anything. Actually, everything should be offered. For example, let's say you are a director of a company. You can say, I offer my position, my status to the Buddha. Because that is something that we can be attached to. Status, power, my family. Buddha doesn't need family. He gave up his family in a way. He doesn't need our family, he doesn't need our job. You can even say, I offer my wife, my husband, my boyfriend. Buddha doesn't need our boyfriend, definitely. But as a way of reducing our attachment, we can offer to the enlightened beings with the understanding that whatever experience I have in this life is impermanent. It doesn't have essence. It is anything that is samsara in our material experience has no essence. And you might say, what do you mean by essence? I have a great cup of coffee, I enjoy it, it has essence. I go to a nice shopping, I enjoy it, it has essence. I enjoy nice food, of course it has essence. You might say like that. Essence doesn't mean that at that time there is no enjoyment. But essence means that the enjoyment doesn't last. For example, today we have a time together. We all laugh and joke and all of that. Right now, of course it is essence, we enjoy it. But tomorrow or tonight, our enjoyment will be a memory. Or if we all cry together today, we are all very sad. Tonight or tomorrow, it will be a memory. Whether we laughed or whether we cried, whether we are big, short, small, whatever, tomorrow it will be a memory as if it never happened. It will be just like a dream. So for some, our material experiences are like a dream, like no essence. So with these essenceless things, rather than holding on to, grasping so much in this life, causing suffering, as when about to die, rather I visualize offering to the enlightened beings my body, my wealth, my status, and entire universe I offer to Buddha Amitabha. Please accept it. For my sake, my accumulation of merit, for my reduced attachment, I offer to the Buddha. From the mind, anybody can do this. There's today I think we don't have so much time, so move on to the next subject. Anyway, the second thing is the fear of unknown that we feel when we are about to die. If you don't believe in any religion, any Buddhism at all, then I guess maybe you think that after I die, chapter closed, finish. If you believe that, I guess maybe there is not much fear. I don't know. And I hope that for their sake, that it is true, that there is nothing after this life. Because if there is, and we are not prepared for it, then that is definitely going to be a big problem. Anyway, one master said, he said that whether there is anything after or not, better prepare for it. So in case something is there, you prepare for it. And if there is nothing, doesn't matter. But if there is something and you are not prepared for it, you are in thick soup. So better prepare for it. So now what can we do to address the fear about where are we going next? The unknown path, fear of unknown path. That is where the Buddha Amitabha practice comes in. Buddha Amitabha, when he was a Bodhisattva, he made a prayer that when I become Buddha, may I have a pure land of Amitabha, pure land, or Sanskrit is called Sukhavati. May I develop a pure land where people who are ordinary people with a defilement. Other pure land, to go you have to be a Bodhisattva, you have to be enlightened, certain stage. But he prayed that because of my practices for eons and eons, not 1 year, not 2, not 1 life, eons and eons. Because of my practice, may I there be a pure land of Amitabha, pure land, where people with ordinary people have anger, jealousy, all of that. As long as they can pray to me, through the connection, develop a connection with me, with a devotion and a belief. I'll come to that later, why is belief important. May they be able to bond them. An ordinary person like you and me, have anger, sometimes we have jealousy, sometimes we are good, sometimes we are bad. Doesn't matter. As long as there are such 3 conditions, may they be born into them, may they be born Amitabha pure land. And is Amitabha pure land like a heaven, after you stay Amitabha pure land, then you enjoy 5-star all the time and enjoy, is it like that? It's not like that. Amitabha pure land is where instead of you getting reborn in the human realm and other realm where there's so much suffering, you get to Amitabha pure land, receive teaching from the Amitabha and practice, and then get enlightened. It's a place, a perfect condition for practice. It is not like you up there and then you enjoy, go on a holiday, vacation, lifetime vacation. That is not Amitabha pure land that the Buddhist Buddha has taught. So, can ordinary people like us be born in Amitabha pure land? We are not that good, we are not that great practitioner. Yes, we can. Why? Not because we are great, we have worked so hard. But Buddha Amitabha has worked so hard for us to get there. He worked for 3 years. Not like us, once a year we do some prayer, practice. Not like that. Throughout life, 6 paramita, lives and lives and eons. He has made it so easy for us to come. As long as we can connect, from our side, we can accumulate a little bit of karma, little bit of practice. So what are the but? There is a true condition in which case difficult to be born Amitabha pure. That is, if we do the 5 highest negative karma, that is killing your father, killing your mother, killing Arahat, enlightened monk, and harming the Buddha Shakyamuni, directly, and creating division between the Sangha, making the Sangha fight each other, causing misunderstanding. These 5. And the 6th one is that if you say, not just misunderstanding, but from the depth of heart, you say, Vajrayana is very good, Mahayana is not good, or Mahayana is very good, Hinayana is not good. If you disrespect the 3 yanas, doesn't matter what you are, because you want to get Amitabha pure land from the Buddha's teaching, the Dharma. Yet you disrespect the Dharma, you cause deep misunderstanding other people also. How can we go to Amitabha pure land? As long as you don't do the 5 things, killing father, mother, Arahat, harming the Buddha, causing division in the entire Sangha, and not disrespecting from the heart the 3 yana, anybody can go into Amitabha pure land. And the 3 conditions needed to Amitabha Buddha. One is the bodhicitta. So when we pray to Amitabha pure land, we cannot pray only I want to go. Or even worse, I want to go but don't let that person come. I hate him. Rather, we have to pray that myself and all the sentient beings, maybe we born Amitabha Pure Land, because if we are born as a human being, maybe we meet Dharma, maybe we will not, and go through a lot of suffering. So maybe all the sentient beings born Amitabha Pure Land receive teaching from Buddha Amitabha and then get enlightened. Praying with the Bodhisattva heart is the number one. Second is believing in the Buddha Amitabha, the belief and the visualizing. We have to imagine that Buddha Amitabha's pure land. We have to learn from the sutra. For example, in Amitabha Buddha there is nobody who, nobody old. Everybody is always young. All the entire, the earth is made of gold, and the precious stones. There's no hills and terrains. Everything is a beautiful grass, full of grass. It's like a grassland. It's in the Amitabha Sutra. Amitabha Pure Land is described very clearly. Very clearly described. So this we have to visualize again. Why is that important? And sorry, another thing we have to know is Amitabha Buddha Shakyamuni said that in Sutra, Amitabha Buddha is in the west side, Buddha of the west. So when we pray to Buddha Amitabha, if possible, we should always prostrate to the west side. We should look at the west side where the sun, the sun sets. And then with the full belief that Buddha Amitabha is not like past Buddha, he's still living. Because Buddha Amitabha lives very long, he's a longevity Buddha. So he is right now, right there. Amitabha Buddha said in prayer that when we talk, when we say, when we think of him, he understands, he listens to everything. Amitabha Buddha is alive right now. Not that Buddha Shakyamuni like past everyone. So in the west side of Pure Land, I don't know here where is the west side in Qingchao, but the west side, I'm just pointing. West side. So west side is the Amitabha Buddha here, so prostrating to there, keeping the shrine there and praying to looking at the west side and praying is very important. Why is that? Because right now we have a body. So, like for example, some children, they don't want to come to the Dharma teaching. Parents can force them to come. Their mind is in Hong Kong, but their body is in Qingchao Island. No choice, But when we are dead, there's no body. So the mind goes where it wants to go. So if the mind doesn't believe in Amitabha Pure Land, then it's like, if somebody tells you, somebody is giving $1 million on just the next corner, they are giving $1 million away. You will not go. Because even if they are giving, you say, I'm sure that is a lie. Who will give $1 million, We will not go because we don't believe it. Even if it's true, we will not go because we don't believe it. So when we are dying, we have no body. Our mind is always thinking about this world, attached to this world, this realm. How will the mind go to Amitabha Buddha Pure Land? It's not a body. Mind has to go. If mind goes in 1 second, it can reach the Buddha Amitabha Pure Land. So from now, visualizing how Amitabha Buddha is. Because more we visualize means, more we are thinking about it. If I'm always thinking about going to shopping, definitely you will go one day. Mind will take a body. So similarly, if we always think of Buddha Amitabha Pure Land, visualize, pray. When we die, we know where to go, and the mind will definitely take us there. That's why the second is, first is Bodhisattva, second is the belief and visualizing Amitabha Buddha, Amitabha Pure Land, and the rest direction is the second quality, second important quality. And the third quality needed, first was the Bodhisattva, second was the belief in Amitabha Buddha and Pure Land, praying to there, praying and visualizing. Third one is the dedication. Because every time we do something good, for example like a lamp offering, today we offer lamp, we have to pray that because I have offered light to the Buddha, myself and all sentient beings, when we are dying, when we are confused and lost in the darkness of intermediate state, may the lamp guide me to Buddha Amitabha Pure Land. And when you do some prayer, may I be born Amitabha, may my soul be born Amitabha Pure. You have to pray to be born in Amitabha Pure Land. Because karma is like energy, it can be used for anything. It can be, I do a lot of good karma, I say I want to become very rich. You use like that. You become rich, you will not go in Amitabha Pure Land. Karma is, you have to direct it. So we have to pray to be born in Amitabha Pure Land. You can do, whatever to. For example, you can do long Amitabha prayers, days. They have short one in the Tibetan master. The Emma Master Sangha nowadays is very famous in Himalaya because Emma Master Sangha nowadays, that one is very popular because one master when he was 30 years old, with the Amitabha, entire Amitabha Pure Land came to saw in vision. Amitabha himself taught the prayer. So that's why it's coming very, very holy. So we're doing that every night. Or you can't do that, you can do it in the mantra. In the Vajrayana you can be Om Amitabha Shi. Or as a Chinese you can say Namo Amitabha. Doesn't matter. You can chanting that and then with a bodhisattva, with remembering Amitabha Pure Land and dedicating to all of God there. If you do that, that's enough. These three qualities are needed. So today, now that I think we have to finish the teaching. So basically, we have covered when we die, the biggest fear is of losing things caused by attachment, and the fear of unknown. In order to reduce that, practicing offering and understanding everything is impermanent and nothing can hold on to. And in order to fear the fear of unknown, we practice Amitabha Buddha. That is how one way of Buddhist practitioner handling the dead and praying for others also and teaching others. That is how we do it. So some people have requested for a refuge. So in front of Buddha, we visualize the Buddha Amitabha in front of us and we take refuge in bodhicitta. Those who are already taking is make it re-stronger, reaffirm it. Those who are not taking it, they will come up and we give them their new names and then we will chant Amitabha Buddha prayer till 3 o'clock.